Welcome to ACCDC.
And we're the only ones that think that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Colby's over there, he's laughing.
I almost thought there was an echo.
Colby laugh. Awesome. Yes.
Hey, just want you guys to know, body by Photoshop. Work out hard. You just don't.
I don't know.
Step away from that.
That's really good.
All right.
Well, everyone needs to use the blur tool right now.
Yes. All of this.
Just kidding, Lex.
No, you're not.
Right,
it's a good segue. Adobe CC. Yep. I don't know about you. A lot of you out there, I have always had at least one issue or two issues trying to deploy Adobe.
Yeah. So how this started out is like last November we did the Adobe Creative Cloud because Adobe had made some changes to how they do their packaging and everything like that. And so we got together and
let's do it.
Let's do it. And then afterwards I was like, hey, if you've got some problems or things like that, let me know. So I want to thank Jeremy, Lena, Alana, Sean, Damien, and Richard from Montreal, who all helped, and either I remoted in or they
That's his name, by
tickets.
the way.
What?
That's his name, by the way. The full name.
Oh yeah, Richard from Montreal.
Richard from Montreal. That is his name. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure because he was exceptionally helpful. Like his ticket was like 2 weeks long. It was like this giant thing. There was conversations, and ultimately he provided us like it was a lot of
We
information.
learned a lot about troubleshooting, and when I say we, the royal we, not me.
Yeah.
So.
So anyway, so thank you for all of those that submitted their issues, and it was really helpful to be able to get down to, because we have trouble replicating that here because we don't have a huge environment, and your environments are all unique, so thank you a lot. All right, so I'm just going to run through real fast Adobe Creative Cloud setup.
Yeah, you know, need a little
baseline
so that we can show you how to troubleshoot.
Yep. So we've got a video. It's in the bonus content along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So go there, get that information, and we've covered this whole thing in another video as well. But I do want to just kind of go over like the package creation process. And Adobe was having issues earlier. So you'll log in to Adobe. You'll go to Manage Your Team. You'll click on the packages up here. You'll create a package. Choose Manage Package. We'll tell you in the other video why. Next, choose your OS version.
OS versions. Is it important?
Yes. So, so the architecture is important, but also the versioning is very important. So this will become apparent when we go through one of the little case studies that we had. But you want to make sure and check the system requirements for all of the packages that you're going to include in your package. So if you don't,
you'll find out why.
You'll find out where things can happen. So we'll create this, and we're just going to add. Let's just create Photoshop. I don't need just plus things.
Plus this, plus that,
plus all
plus.
that, plus this.
Oh, that was my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, you could just do it that way. Look at that. Everything.
All the things.
All the things. We're just going to do that. Okay, we're going to do that. That's going to
all the time.
We're not going to do that.
No, I was going to say that's going to take all the time.
That is.
Don't do it.
That's going to ruin the internet. Okay, so we're just going to go to this part, and then anyway, you select this, and then you click next. You name it, and then what it'll do is it'll go back to your panel, and then which is this. It'll show that it's downloading.
Or show it's building.
Yeah, shows that it's building.
Yep.
So it'll show that it's building right here, building, and then it'll automatically download to your machine once it's done, which is that's the one new thing since November.
Gotta love it. One less click.
Yep.
I'm happy with that.
All right. So that's basically you do it. Now,
I just the thing again. I just want to bring up, and I know we're going to bring this up again, but it just got me stuck so many times. Okay. Even the version of Windows 10 you're running, make sure you're doing the compatible version for that because it will sneak up and bite you.
Yeah, check those system requirements.
Absolutely.
I mean, real fast Google search like XD system requirements will bring up and make sure that your OS version is going to be right. All right, so we have Acrobat and Friends, and we just extracted that here, and we have XD only, and that's just downloaded from the package from Adobe site, and then we have that, and we just extracted that. It's a real basic structure, nothing fancy. And then we just we went and built some packages on that.
Now, normally I would suggest that you'd move those over to your repository, keep them in a good spot there. But for this, we're just going to do it from here.
We just did it really fast.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely put it in the reportory. Keep everything clean, safe and sane. I know we're not doing exactly best practices.
Built to fail.
Yes, built to fail. Okay.
Apparently, you've done something since we did this yesterday.
Yes.
So.
Well, I'm just going to deploy this now, and then we can talk about other things because it may take a minute to fail. So where should we go? where should we send this to? Let's see. Well, let's look at inventory first of all. So I've created a little collection here that doesn't have Adobe CC. These are all the machines that don't have Adobe Creative Cloud, and they're sad. And then these are just the Windows 10. And I'm just going to make sure that we do this. So how about Noob Noob?
I like that
Noob
name.
Noob. Noob. Do too.
All right.
So we're just going to send this to Noob Noob.
So you do it like I do. Spin the wheel.
I know. I can't see anything anymore, so it's just, I guess everything's right. We're just going to deploy
Fire
it
it
now.
off.
Boo! All right.
Wonder if it'll fail.
I don't know. Hey, that's the thing. It's like,
It actually could work.
Yeah, we're actually testing this live, so we don't know. Now, I built this based on what Richard's package looked like, which was he had all the
All the things.
what did he have? He had like Photoshop, Illustrator, but he also had ultimately it was Acrobat Pro.
Acrobat Pro, yeah.
Yeah, it was Acrobat Pro that was installed with everything. Acrobat Pro is a very weird program that should always be installed by itself, and it should never use the MSI.
Separately.
You should use the silent parameter
With
and use the setup.exe.
Yeah.
So that may be a philosophical question. If you have a package called Built to Fail and it succeeds, did it fail?
Yes, it did actually. So it failed in
Because we
proving
expected it to
that
fail.
yes, because it
And it
expected
didn't, so
that.
it
So either way, it's a win, regardless of how it works. It was still,
Existentially,
Yeah.
we're just going to step away from that, yeah?
yeah. I don't know. JJ, that hurt my head.
I know it's too early for something like that.
I know it is. All right. So while that's doing that, let's talk about some general troubleshooting stuff.
Okay, first thing I like to do, of course, is make sure we're getting connections.
Yep.
And the easiest way to do that is do the dir.
Yep.
Package, basically, we're doing a command step.
Recommend that everybody have just a basic dir package.
Yep.
Just to test.
Okay, and again, this one's easy as just deploy it, pick a machine.
Yep.
Actually, the machine. So we sent this to Noob Noob. Let's send it to Noob Noob.
Yeah.
We're going to test Briggs' ability to type.
Oh, it's terrible.
Still,
Everyone
better,
is
still better than mine.
No, I think together we make
Actually,
a pretty
if that one's deploying, it's going to wait, right?
yeah, it is going to wait.
All right, so we should probably deploy it to another one. But let's say Noob Noob had a problem. Let's just test that to make sure we're getting the connectivity. It's actually going to run.
Yeah, we actually know that Noob Noob doesn't have a connectivity issue because we've got an RDP session.
Yep,
open
so
to do
maybe I should pick a better one. I won't make you type. I'll just choose targets from, I like to do them from inventory.
Okay.
It's my favorite. Boom.
Mine too, actually. That's my favorite.
Inventory?
Yeah.
So many more things you can do.
Yeah. It is.
All right, there it is, running step 101. It's
Okay,
successful,
success.
bang.
Yep. So we know that we have that
Now,
connectivity.
another nice thing about, talking about troubleshooting is checking your logs.
Yep.
Okay? And it's better if I put it in the middle so everyone can see.
Yep.
Double click on this. There's your output log. Now, suppose there was a problem.
Yes.
I usually just scroll straight to the bottom.
Okay. We do have.
We got
do
one
have
with problem?
Yes, we do have. Well, the thing. Remember those that we ran yesterday? Yes.
We do have ones with problems.
Yes. So we did Adobe CC XD only, and look at, we have some failures here. We have some interesting failures too, which is kind of really cool. But this is 1603, so we have an output log. And you want to show them how you do this?
I usually do it with the wheel.
Yep.
Because I just like to. All right, and then I grab this thing and go all the way to the
You should
bottom.
think this is way too long.
Zing, 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 and you grab it to the bottom. And then I start reading up.
Yeah. So this will tell you like the last thing, and it's like, oh, 1603. And now 1603, JJ and I and Lex were talking about 1603. Like, why 1603? We do not know why Microsoft made the decision that 1603 was going to be the general
Bad
catch-all.
things happen. We don't know why.
We don't know.
That's a bad number.
It is a
you
really
would think
bad
that
number.
1603 is a very important, very specific
Yes.
number. But it's a general error that means
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
It means
What did we come
we
up with?
don't know.
Negative one?
I said negative one.
Square root of
Negative
I.
1, and I was like, I. Yeah. The square root of negative 1 is I. It's just an irrational number.
Now these
1603
numbers
is not.
don't work if you're using signed integers, but
Wow, we are nerds.
We are. A little.
And then we're all laughing about it. So after I got tired of reading 2 lines, because it didn't take me long to get tired, we used the find.
Yeah,
at this
so
point.
just, and then this is another thing that we brought up too, is all like, all right, so we do the little ring in the window, and then we're just going to look up for error. Now wait, I'm already at the bottom. Do I really have to choose up? Sure do.
Otherwise, it's
Because otherwise it's just going to say didn't find anything.
another gripe we were talking about yesterday.
Okay, hold on.
click
Well,
there.
I actually have
Now
to look
do
at the
it.
cursor. There we go. Okay, that's the one that we just hit. Oh yeah, there's
there.
it's a dialogue. Okay, that doesn't help. Yep. Oh, this may not be 100% accurate. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's right. May not be 100% accurate. Okay,
So
that's it.
The takeaway from this is we don't like to read. Make it easy. Use the
Yes.
find. Make sure you
And-
go the right direction.
And also, the second takeaway is that this was not helpful at all. But
zero help.
But that is not to say that logs are not helpful, but they are actually helpful. But this isn't going to tell you.
You got to go here first. You really do, because it gives you direction to go. And
Yep.
this tells us good luck.
Yeah, an event viewer on the target machine is another place another log that you can look and see application. So if the output log doesn't provide you this information that you want, try event viewer on the target machine. You can do that remotely with inventory as well. And if that doesn't work, then
Probably time to try and run that by hand.
yep. And there's two ways you could do that.
Okay.
One, you can either the easy way is just to copy over the information or what you're trying to do into Notepad, massage a little bit, and then just run the command line directly as if you were doing it from deploy. So MSI exec.
Should we do?
Yeah, we
Let's
just
go.
show. Yeah. Yeah, we can take a question.
Should we do a question? Sure. Okay. I'm looking like I'm.
Dear Lex and Brig, has anyone figured out an easy way to remove all old Adobe versions to make way for a CCE install? I have had to create a script that tries to uninstall each package we've ever deployed by name. Thanks, William Z.
William Z.
An easy way.
Okay, the easiest way, and this is, you're going to hate this, reimage. Yeah. That's the easiest if you want to get rid of everything. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of work after the fact.
But
Now,
easy is not always practical.
That's
so.
true. Okay, so
That's Lex's full contact IT.
there you go, man.
there we go.
I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to guarantee it's gone,
Yeah.
along with
We're just going to
everyone's
try.
work.
Yeah, and I might schedule that during lunch so that you're not at your trying to
No, no, no,
work.
I'm going to wait till they're right in the middle of their presentation.
Yes.
Boom. All right.
All right.
Okay.
An easy way. Well,
The correct way to do it, other than that, I mean, that will do it, but I wouldn't pick that as your first option.
there is, if you're doing Adobe Creative Cloud, and I've messed with this before, there is a way to create a deployment that will remove Adobe Creative Cloud packages. But here's the problem: is that like if you've installed like 5 or 6 different packages, they're not all going to install, and it doesn't actually uninstall the Creative Cloud actual application.
And just,
That's a separate thing.
just the first thing I started thinking, does Adobe have an uninstall package that you could actually put out?
Yeah,
That I don't know.
that I don't know.
I mean, any of these, I would definitely run the uninstall program. If they've got one, that's
Yeah.
where I would go. But
And there
without
are.
picking one, but
And yeah, and you could also create. I mean, really, creating the script is the best idea. I don't know, Colby. Do you have any ideas or thoughts on that?
What I usually recommend is looking at some of our uninstall scripts, like Uninstall Opera. It has a script where it basically uninstalls by name. So that way you're not hard coding in specific versions. It'll always work for future versions. You just say, uninstall the application that matches this name.
Yeah. Okay.
is there any? You got to be kind of careful with that. Maybe. I'm just wondering.
Test it first.
Yeah,
Test it on
unless
Brig's
you're-
machine. Test it on someone else's machine.
Unless your legs don't test, just do it right in production.
Test live.
Yes,
Yeah.
test live.
Yeah, try to make it as specific as possible. Our scripts usually have a fairly specific name and a publisher, so that you're not catching things that have similar names.
Yep.
Usually.
Yeah, just definitely
Yeah.
test. Be careful.
Yeah, our
Good
office,
idea, though.
our office scripts really nice to do that as well. All right, cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to testing. I hope that answered the question. I mean, like, because it didn't really answer. the
Kind of
question. It did, but
roundabout.
it
There's a
didn't.
couple of ways to do it.
Yeah.
Colby's is definitely better
You-
than mine.
You
so.
gave the easy way.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I gave the really easy way, but
Okay, so all we did is we went in and we said, like, this is the Adobe XD only package. So we just went in and I copied this and I copied this down here so that we had all of that.
Put it
And
in
then I just
Notepad.
Put it in Notepad. I took out all the silent stuff because I want to see what's happening. So then I just copied this over here and let's just go to, let's see, bird person.
oh, by the way, when you open your command prompt, make sure you're an administrator.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's gonna,
It may
start
bark at you. Yep. And so we're just going to run that, and then it's going to prepare and install. So it's doing. This is exactly what would happen is if we had just deployed to it. So we're just replicating that. The only thing is we're actually watching what's happening, so that we get to see.
Are we though? Are we really watching?
Well,
Okay, we should be.
Well, things. I can
My
see it.
my
It's
problem
there.
is I will be drinking coffee and having a conversation.
Okay, that's
and
true.
I'm going
Let's
to miss
do
whatever
this.
happens.
Yes.
okay?
Well, no, it'll pop up. It
Okay.
usually stays there.
Yeah, that's
so,
a good point.
Yeah.
But this definitely is a good way to test it because if you can't run it and it's having errors, just running it by hand, you're
Yeah. Now, if this succeeds, just letting the listening audience out there, or the watching audience, if this succeeds, then we've done a really bad thing, and Adobe's done a bad thing.
We've done a really bad thing?
This should
'Cause
fail.
this should fail? Why should it
absolutely
fail? Well, seriously, I do want to know why it should fail.
Because this is XD. So, okay, here we'll just kind of jump ahead a little bit. So here was the issue. Gentleman's deploying XD out in his environment. That's all it is. It's just a Adobe Creative Cloud XD. Deploying it out to several machines, and some machines are always failing. And it's just like, well, why is that? And he's all like, I re-imaged them and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, let me troubleshoot this. And so sat down, did the same thing in our environment. I'm like, okay. And it was failing on certain machines. And I'm like, okay, what is the common denominator on all of these machines? And it came down to, ultimately, it came to that OS version.
Oh, the OS version again.
Yeah, so Adobe Creative Cloud XD, the latest version, will not run on anything prior to the Creators Edition. It was 1709, I believe. 1709. Is it 1709?
1803, 1709? 1709.
Yeah, 1709. It's not 1803. I knew that. It was 1709. Anything earlier than 1709, so 1511, any of those, it would not run. So it was like, oh, I found that out. So it should fail because this is Windows 8. So it should not run at all. Or should not install. Something happened.
Something, is it behind it? Because it closed.
Yeah.
Hence that whole thing about coffee and conversation.
Yeah. So what, and the thing that he was experiencing was,
Oh, that star bar.
yeah, it's not there. It didn't install. So the problem that he was experiencing was it would just install and then it would just uninstall. It didn't throw an error or anything like that. So it was
Sorry,
very
that
strange.
hurts my eyes.
Oh, sorry.
I have to, yeah.
Sorry. So anyway, yeah, it was one of those weird things. So now we know that it actually ran, but it did not install anything. So that was a little, it's like
Pretty much failure at that point.
Yeah, pretty much failure. And then another thing that we can do. So we have Noob here. What is this?
Let's remind us tomorrow.
Yeah, remind me
Updates.
tomorrow. That's right.
By the way, I like
always-
to keep my
it's always
lab that
tomorrow.
way, so when I'm testing, I've got machines that are out of date.
Yes. See, that always reminds me of we've talked about this. The sign in the bar that I used to go to in Tucson, Arizona. I always had this. There was this old sign that just said "Free beer tomorrow."
Yeah,
so it was always tomorrow.
Eat at Joe's has that.
Yeah. Oh, does it?
Or Joe's Crab Shack. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know why I call it Eat at Joe's.
Eat Joe's, yeah.
Yeah. Because they have a giant sign above that says Eat at Joe's.
Eat at Joe's.
Flashing.
All right. Let's see. Did we get success here?
Well, I'm
This
seeing
was
Adobe.
not supposed to succeed.
Let's go get the package, see if the package succeeded.
This was not supposed to happen this way.
This is the failure one?
This is supposed to fail.
We failed at failing?
Let's see.
Did.
That's so...
Built to fail. Oh,
Built to fail? Wow.
Well, that answers my question.
well, there we go. Okay, so
Back
you know
to the
that whole thing that I
philosophical-
was talking about, like Adobe or Acrobat being included in other packages, and you probably should deploy it separately. Well, apparently for
We
us,
found an instance where you can do it.
Yep, we did. Yes. Anyway, normally this should fail, and I was hoping for something really weird, but we didn't get anything weird, and this has kind of been a problem. But oh, look, failures. Look at all these failures.
See, that's what it's supposed to look like when it
That's what's
fails.
supposed to happen. Yeah. So anyway,
You know, we shouldn't act surprised when it works.
we
except
shouldn't.
when we build one to fail.
we were able to fail, and then
Yeah,
it works. Yeah.
absolutely.
Although we did build the other ones to fail as well. But anyway, this. I was hoping that it wouldn't, but that's the thing about live is that it actually does succeed.
Now you know it
so,
is live.
Yeah.
Should we troubleshoot why it succeeded?
No.
Just call it away and walk on.
Yeah, it was just like, yep, okay. So if you just do exactly what we did in our exact
It's gonna
environment,
work,
it's
yeah.
going to work just fine for you.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, so we discussed the XD one. That was kind of an important one. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then the other way that you can also troubleshoot these kinds of issues is actually take the entire directory and copy that over onto the target machine and then run it manually, like the double click method, and just go through that entire process and then see how that works. So you've done it over the network, you've done it locally, and you should get some sort of error, either an event viewer, that'll be in applications, maybe system if something's really wrong, but typically applications.
You know, I do want to point this out also. When you build your package, guys, here's our install step. And I know this is remedial. Everybody knows this. But if you don't check that, you're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
fail. Okay, so straight out the gate, check this one because, yeah, I did this yesterday.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't check it. And I'm like, hey, it's 103 meg. That's not even remotely big enough.
Nope.
So, again, make sure you include the entire directory. That's a huge one we see a lot of.
Yep.
So make sure you get all the files.
In fact, I'm just going to circle that with lots of circles.
Arrows. Hey,
Arrows.
you can draw too. Same time, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, right there. Make sure you do that. Very important.
And the reason why is because because you've actually got the build here So you've got your MSI, but you have all of this other stuff in here that it needs as well. So, yep.
As
It
Chris
is-
would say, all the things.
all the things are
All
in
the
there.
things are in there.
Yep.
So
All right.
that is definitely make that one.
Okay.
Any questions at this point?
Yeah. You want to do a question before we segue into the next troubleshooting stuff?
Dear Lex and Brig, do we have any way to see plugins in Adobe products in inventory? Example, eye candy in Photoshop. Thanks, Kathleen F.
Okay, when those plugins get installed, they don't get registered into the registry in the installed programs, right? And that's
No.
normally where we look for those. So,
Most of the plugins don't.
okay,
no.
so from that aspect, not there, but
Yeah. They should be in the registry somewhere.
if you do a registry search,
Yeah. Somewhere in the Photoshop directory. Because it's not, it should be installed for all users.
where do we have Photoshop? Oh, it's on. Where do we just install it? Noob.
Yeah. Or you could do a file scanner. It would be in program files.
File-
plugins.
oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
File scanner, easy.
File scanner. Yep. And the plugins directory.
Colby's just over there going,
Boy, I'm really
I can't
hoping.
believe it.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Colby's like, oh, you guys that know business.
Do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Like file
Colby,
scanner.
it's
right,
already
Colby?
done. He's already done it.
Yeah. He's already.
That's what I was going to suggest. I've never done it before, but I was assuming a file scanner would
Yeah.
probably work.
Yeah. I have not seen plugins in Adobe Creative Cloud 2018 or 2019, but I do know that there was a plugins folder. So my recommendation would be to just like, hey, scan that and see what's in there.
Which reminds me, when we were building the install package yesterday, there was a big warning that came up, which we clicked.
Oh yes.
Which
Yeah.
said something about you got to use the new version.
Yeah, like you are no longer allowed to use old versions of certain Adobe products because they are no longer licensed, and you must remove them from your machine immediately, and then only use the pre-approved versions that are now acceptable by
But
the
it-
Adobe Creative Cloud, something or other. Yes.
And it basically is they're not licensing some of the third party.
Yeah. So I guess JJ and Phil, the three of us
yeah,
talking
Yeah, that's
about
my
it.
understanding.
Yeah,
is
they
that
expired.
there's they license. I'm not sure which plugins or which technologies that they have that are integrated in their software. They just no longer work because of legal issues, and so yeah, they say
So
we can't use them, and so or
Let-
they
let
can't
me-
use them, so we can't use them.
I have a question. I'm going to put my hand up low
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
it goes off screen. So my question is, if I've got an older version that all that stuff works in, why would I upgrade? I'm not saying
'Cause
not
you
to.
don't-
I'm not saying not to. It's just a question, philosophical question in my
Well,
mind.
I mean, because this is a subscription service, I mean,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
ideally you just want the latest and greatest of everything. I mean,
That in theory, yes, but if
What if one of those
Theory.
the
Again, if
plugins
they're-
they can't use anymore?
yeah, if they're tracking, they can see what version you're opening.
They'll
Yeah.
be doing this. They'll be shame.
And, there could be. I'm not saying that there will be, but there could be some legal repercussions.
Oh no, I'm just saying I don't understand why you wouldn't want to upgrade everything.
Oh, why you wouldn't?
I was just
Why you
wondering
wouldn't.
why
Oh, yeah,
would
yeah.
you if you had something that wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm always like,
there are reasons.
Follow the
Yeah, I mean,
rules,
like, I can see
people.
that
And in
the-
fact, I can give you an example right off the bat. There is a plugin that Jake and I use for stabilization that only works in After Effects 2017.
okay,
Now, if Adobe were to say you can no longer use After Effects 2017, then we just wasted our money spending $500 on a plugin.
Okay.
yeah.
So
All right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could
that's
see that.
that's one example, and I'm sure there's plenty of others.
Probably. All right.
I think we had another question.
Oh, do we have another question? All right.
Dear Lex,
Pondering.
dear Brig, not sure if covered already, resolving a DNS issue, but is there an efficient way of keeping CC products up to date? Sincerely, Jeremy O.
An efficient way.
That depends on your definition of efficient.
Yeah. So this is one of those, like,
The two size said it all, I think.
it is possible to uninstall Adobe Creative Cloud
It is.
products, especially if you have like packages, and so you can create that, and then you can check and see what's involved, and then uninstalling that. You don't necessarily need to uninstall the Adobe. The Creative Cloud application, and then you can install over it. That's the least inefficient one.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, go
in
ahead.
my mind, I'm thinking, I've already built the package. You get the new one. Can I just slap it in the same package, or do I have to make changes?
You have to create a new package.
Definitely have to make. Okay.
Yeah, because they update all the time, and they actually only allow. There's a certain like time TTL on the
Okay.
on the package that
Oh,
they have.
really? Okay.
But there is a mechanism within Adobe Creative Cloud to keep things updated. So, and you can either do that, the users can do that themselves, like they'll receive a little notice like, hey, your it's updated, or you can actually do that through your own administration of Adobe CC, and that's within the command and control of the Adobe package.
Would you do that at the package?
Yeah, so you do that, like you do
here.
managed, and
do it
yeah,
here.
so you do
Okay.
that. Let's see. Here, so you do the managed package, you do next, and then choose whatever, and then here, we'll just do whatever, and then here you can show apps panel and allow non-admins to update the install apps, so they can install the apps, and then management options. You can do an internal Adobe update server if you want, or you can enable remote update manager, which will keep things updated, and then so you do have some options. It's a lot like. There was another program that allowed you to do this kind of updates. Yeah, but you do have some options.
Here's your options. That's where you'd set them, yeah?
Yeah, I would say efficiently, this would probably be the best way of doing it. And your users do not need admin access to be able to do that.
That's
Which
the
is
good
nice.
thing.
Yeah, which is nice. 'Cause so long as you allow them that ability. Hopefully that answered the question. I have not actually done that before though, so I'm just going off of like my reading and the documentation on that. So, but it's not something that I've tested.
Let's just a minute. We're control freaks. I want to control when
Yeah.
everything goes up.
Yeah, pretty
That's what we do.
Yep. All right. Okay. So where are we at? Exceed the timeout for completion is another one that comes up.
happens.
It
It
comes up
happens.
quite a bit. So you'll set up your timeout to like 60 minutes, and then
Nice thing is you can change it at the package level.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. There it is. Package level, options, use custom timeout right there. So you don't have to
Yep.
reset everybody. You just reset
just
that
reset
package right there.
Yes, and that's So this is a perfect way of setting that up, especially when you have a large package. I mean, if you did everything that was on Adobe, I think we did everything.
All the things, yeah.
And it took a long. It was over an hour.
Yeah.
Deploying. So that is something that you want to make sure that you change if you're getting that. Now, another cause could be that it's not usually silent parameters when it comes down to this, but another thing can be like Office products are running. We had somebody, in fact, Damien was the person back in November that sent in a question. He was all like, "Oh, by the way, when Office products are running, sometimes it will
Really?
fail," and I was actually able to replicate that. So,
No kidding.
Yep.
So you set a task kill out for Office products, or
Yeah, you
reboot the machine first?
Yeah,
and then
reboot
run
the
it?
machine first, or just make sure that like Outlook, WinWord, Excel, .exe, Power, typically PowerPoint. Hopefully, it's not being used by.
You don't like PowerPoint?
I do actually really like PowerPoint, but it is not something that I have open all day.
Okay, good point.
Excel, I am in a lot.
All right.
I like Excel a lot.
Good point.
So that was another thing that you can check. Let's see.
Error 6. Error 6, that comes up. And I've never really understood.
Error 6 and
6.
7.
Yeah.
So in the bonus content, there's a specific article about Error 6 and Error 7.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Error 6, this was one of those, actually Error 6 was the one where it was the Acrobat Pro that the problem that Richard had. He kept getting Error 6. And we re-imaged the machine, out-of-box experience, the whole thing, and still it was just getting this Error 6 over and over and over again.
As soon as you took Pro out,
As soon as you
take care of that.
Acrobat, yeah, which our built to fail didn't prove. But yes, that was the deal there. So that was his issue. Error 6 and Error 7 are both having to deal with silent parameters. I have not seen an Error 7 in the wild, or not silent parameters, but a silent install. Error 6, seen that quite often. They've got a pretty good helpful guide. The best thing is Visual C++. I've seen
Is it out of date, or is it?
out of date or needs to be repaired.
Repaired,
We've seen that with quite a few programs, not just with Adobe products.
So is it a best practice to hit them with a reboot and then do the install to make sure Office is down? If any of these have been recently installed, they're
I would
just good
say
to go?
yeah, definitely best practice. If you can do it,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Middle of the day.
Yeah,
While
middle of the
they're
day. Yes, just while they're working, just shut it all down.
Make sure you
Reboot.
unplug your phone first. That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see, and then there was another. Let's see, there was the. Yeah. Lost my train of thought there.
the train has been derailed.
C++. What else was the other thing? I don't know. There's some troubleshooting steps in there. Basically, other Adobe products will cause. There was an issue where where the reader was installed, but I haven't seen that one recently, and we haven't had any tickets on that one recently either. So I don't think that one's.
Basically, takeaway is if you can get Adobe Acrobat installed separate.
Yep. You could create another package.
It's easy enough,
Or a
and
single
if-
package that has them all.
Actually, wouldn't you want to do like, I mean, you could do individual packages for each of them, do a nested package, so each of them do their own
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that, and then that way, you can have their own timeout. Well, you can't have their own timeouts, but you can just control each package individually based
Yeah.
on conditions and things like that you wanted to measure. I'm not really a big nested package fan. I know.
I mean, there's things you can do. I mean, it's an
outlier.
it's an avenue you can go down
Yeah.
if you start seeing problems, because then you can start breaking it down.
Yep.
where you're at.
I'm a step person. I like steps. Lots of steps. So
A nested package
Isn't a
is a
nested
step.
package just a complex step?
yeah,
It's a
it
step
really
with
is.
sub-steps.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more control, I think, with
Super.
nested packages, but
Super steppy.
I don't know. Colby, what do you prefer? Do you prefer nested packages or does it case dependent?
I love nested packages. At my last job, I had this like really nasty 40-step package that was like multiple layers deep of nested packages. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Did you ever reach the end of nested packaging before it says I can't do this anymore?
Yes, he has.
Oh, you
actually,
did? Okay.
actually.
Yeah,
Well,
Leave
you
it
should
to
bring this
Colby
up.
to do that.
Yeah.
there,
Oh,
there
absolutely.
are. I think Deploy 17.1 had an issue where if you went, what was it, like more than 15 levels deep, it would like freeze up, and now you can go like, I think I've gone like 60 levels deep or more in 17.2. So
Wow.
Nice.
I can't even think of an instance where I'd want to do that except to find out how far you can do
No,
it.
that's it. That's the only.
Exactly.
Yes,
Well,
that's the only
that's
reason.
why
But still,
Colby
yeah,
found
that's
out.
why Colby
I
does it.
love
It's
that.
like, how far can we go?
yeah, I call that one the nest of death.
Yes,
The nested death.
Just a nest bomb.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah. All right.
Dear Lex and Brig, how can you abort a scan when you accidentally click Scan Collection instead of Scan Computer while under All Computers? Go! A warning or nag screen for that would be nice too. Sincerely, /Q.
All right, I just kicked off scans. I'm going to click on the first, Control A, right click, abort. I got them all.
And you can also do it like if you're like me and you like this window too. You can do the same thing. Control A up in here. I'll show you all the machines that would be scanning.
Do you want to do it again?
Just do it that way. Sure.
Do it again.
Why
Do
not?
it again.
Okay. So
Right click. Scan.
collection. I know because it's like standard. There we go.
Oops. I just meant to do one.
No.
Not all of them, no.
No. And then abort scan. I love this window though. Like
I'm becoming a bigger fan of the window.
it's really nice.
It's
You get it because you get to see everything like in real time without having to. Yeah.
Yep,
Anyway,
yep.
I like it, and it sorts out for you. All right.
So,
Okay.
ACCDC.
ACCDC.
Rock on,
Yeah.
people. Hey, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
I'm Lex.
I'm Brig.
We'll catch you all on the flip side.
Yep.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Kathleen F. and William Z., winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to our support forums. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next week.